Remember Knight Rider? Remember Mitch from Baywatch? Remember David Hasselhoff? Well, Hasselhoff, or the Hoff as he's referred to as these days, is a fascinating brand journey. He's one star who went into oblivion only to begin his second innings at the age of 50. And believe it or not, it was at 50 when brand Hoff was given birth to. All of 61, Hoff's brand is off the charts and he's one star who knows how to climb the social media ladder. I caught up with the Hoff himself to get a sense of his rather riveting journey. You're going to enjoy this one. David Hasselhoff, truly a pleasure having you on Brand Equity on ET Now. This is truly wonderful.
Thank you. It's great to be here. It's been an amazing, amazing ride and amazing run, and I'm back in Cannes.
So, at the outset, let me tell you that I'm a big David Hasselhoff fan. I mean, I grew up watching Baywatch, so it is truly surreal to be sitting in front of you and talking about the Hoff brand. So, given the fact that, until 10 years ago, it was David Hasselhoff, and I believe that the Hoff brand was only given birth to when you were about 50.
Right.
Take me through that journey on, the creation of Hoff and, how it gained momentum and how it's such a big deal now.
Well, it just kind of happened organically. It started 10 years ago in Australia where I got a phone call saying there's a viral epidemic of emails going back and forth from secretaries about the Hoff.
Right.
From he's Hoff-tastic, he's Hoff-alicious, he has Hoff legs, he's Hoff nuts, he's Hoff crazy, he's married to a desperate Hoff wife, he gets into a face-off with people, and Baryshna Hoff and Braver Hoff. And so I went down to Australia,
right,
and I was on television, and they were trying to kind of have it at me, make fun of me. And I said, well, you know what? I took off my shirt and I had "Don't Hassle the Hoff," and it went crazy.
Right.
And since then, the Hoff has just grown. Not even with me helping it. I was doing America's Got Talent as David. I'd gotten the Bollywood award,
right,
as one of the most popular actors about 10 years ago. I knew that Baywatch gets like a 50 share in India. I've been trying to get over there. I made a funny joke about, let's do Bombay Watch, and everyone jumped on it. I'm now working on going to India to do Bombay Watch as an episode of a TV series.
Oh, awesome.
The series is very similar to An Idiot Abroad with like Ricky Gervais, the same producers. It's about David Hasselhoff going around the world. I can save the world. And it's really, I want to stop the running of the bulls. I want to stop that guy in Korea. I want to cure hunger. And it's really funny. And so I've kind of played into it. Also, it's entertaining. And I found out that the times that I take life seriously, if I make a mistake or fall down and the media grabs at and I take it seriously, then I've lost.
Sure.
I need to just get up, laugh at your mistakes, and move forward and say, wow. I mean, I have a T-shirt that says KIT, and it says KIT happens, which means like shit happens,
right,
it's the same thing.
Right.
And you move forward, and I think my audience has responded to that. I think that one of the greatest things that happened to me was my daughter. I came up and I said, you know anything about a yellow sponge? And she goes, SpongeBob? I said, yeah, they want me to be in SpongeBob the movie. Oh my God! And that keeps me current with the kids.
Right.
I try to do as much stuff that is youth-oriented as I can. Even if I'm just hanging out, putting slime on myself at the Nickelodeon Awards or going to the European Music Awards,
sure,
where I met Justin Bieber. I said, I got Bieber fever. He goes, let's go to the hospital. And it's great because a lot of people are just responding now to Baywatch or just responding to Knight Rider, where you grew up with it. There's so many people who don't have that TV anymore.
David, I want to go back in time about the emails that were doing the round, and everybody was talking about suddenly the Hoff, right, in Australia. Why do you think that came about? Why were you suddenly, a frenzy among Australians?
I really don't know. I don't know. I just don't have any clue.
Okay.
I think...
You don't know where the trigger came from?
Where the Hoff came from?
Yeah. No idea.
No idea. Ice-T says that he said, oh yeah, I could say I came up with Don't Hassle the Hoff, and everybody takes different credit for it.
Sure.
I came up with Don't Hassle the Hoff because I was in Australia and I wanted to give it back. But the initial start,
right,
whoever sent out the first Hoff,
Right.
I'd like to find that girl and give her a big kiss. You know, and because I have no idea how it started.
Sure.
It's so massive now that last night I got home at 6 o'clock in the morning from the concert.
Right.
I followed Iron Maiden
Right.
and Prodigy, which are heavy metal groups. I'm singing, I've been looking for freedom to 100,000 people.
Right.
And I stood there when I walked on, and I'm wondering if I was in the wrong venue. I was kind of afraid that I was in a heavy metal concert, and they're not going to respond to my pop music, you know?
Right.
They started chanting, Hoff, Hoff, Hoff. And I stood there, and my daughter was filming it. And as I started to pick up the microphone, they get louder. I put it down.
Wow.
And it was like 3 minutes of this, and I just started to get kind of well up with tears going, this is so freaking amazing.
You know, this whole second innings that you've got in your career with the Hoff, that is different from David Hasselhoff. Would you say that, you know, a large part of this whole emergence of this brand is thanks to digital and social media, really? And you're one celebrity who's managed to really milk it and is still leveraging it to, you know, get your brand to become bigger and bigger. And here I'm really talking about the Hoff brand. Can you tell me a little bit about how you've actually used the medium to, you know, make the brand bigger every year and ensure that its growth is, you know, on the right direction?
You know, I must say that it's really the brilliance comes from young people around the world. That I've done a commercial. I did a commercial in Norway where they were actually to go into Facebook and get a picture of you from Facebook, and we could put you in the commercial with David Hasselhoff.
Right.
I went to Germany and I did a thing about bad content. So I beat up all the bad things on YouTube. You know, like the crying guy or the guy who sings Chocolate Rain and all the stuff that you get sick of.
Right.
And I was beating them all up. It was all these brilliant young filmmakers.
Right.
And I realized that it's the humor, it's the behind the scenes that they want to see. So I was filming all the stuff that happened to me kind of behind the scenes. And then I was dating a girl from Wales, and everybody was saying, when are you getting married? So I thought, maybe I should get engaged to her. So I thought, I had a laugh. I said, can you get that elephant to charge? So I got out of the car on safari, and the elephant was charging. I got down on my knees, and it went out that David Hasselhoff risks his life in front of elephant. Then I took her to Hansport, and we got in the cage with the great whites, and I got the great whites to come over, and I got her in there. And so every life-threatening experience I put out.
Right.
And the response was phenomenal.
Sure.
And I said, wow, wow.
But David, somehow, you know, one gets the sense that you've obviously cracked that. You've obviously cracked what is funny because, you know, your stuff is going viral. So you obviously know what kind of humor to put out there and what flies. So give me a sense of what you think is working.
Well,
What's the kind of content that's flying?
You know, I think what's working is you got one life, and you just do what you want to do, you know, and you just live it. You know, and if somebody gets in the way, you know, just laugh at them. You know, people come by if I'm driving a car and they flip me off, I just laugh. I don't let it get to me. You know, I don't take anything personally. You know, I think you cannot take anything in life personally, no matter what happens to you, or in your life, in your job, in your romance. It's not about you. It's not about them. It's about how you deal with it. You know. And I think people see that in me, and I find humor in everything, and I think people respond to that.
So when did you actually start? I mean, you poke a lot of fun at yourself, and you've made like millions of dollars poking making fun of yourself. How did you get that realization that, you know, if you take it easy and you know, you're not that serious, and you're not that heavy on yourself, it actually works? I mean, when did that realization happen for you?
It happens all the time. I mean, I turn on the television, you know, and it'll say breaking news, and I'll go, oh, they found Osama bin Laden. They had a picture of Osama bin Laden. Breaking news, and it was about me. me getting a sentence in something bad I did or something, you know. And they said, okay, David Hasselhoff got 300 hours of community service. I said, that's breaking news? I said, that's freaking hysterical. I was like, I thought they were going to tell us we found Osama bin Laden. And I started laughing at that. So I Twitter about that.
Okay.
You know, and then I became breaking news Hasselhoff.
You know, you've done like about 34 internet commercials. How are you looking at the whole advertising business?
I like to see the commercials, you know, in the movie theaters that are really fun. The Super Bowl commercials are always really hysterical. But I think as an advertising basis, you reach a mega amount of people on the internet, and it's free, because if somebody picks it up, they're going to share it. This whole Hoff or not, we've already got 100 million people sharing it, you know, and 100 million people are now going to talk about what's Hoff or not, and they're going to talk about the Hoff brand, and they're going to talk about who put this together, Golden. So it all works together, and it's all done virally, which means it's done from people's hearts.
Right.
We did Google. We photobombed on April 1st 30 million people, and because they were having a laugh.
Sure.
And the picture would come back, and they're there, and they're partying. And then one girl was, looked like she was falling down, looked like I was kissing her. It was hysterical. And they would tell, hey, have you seen this? And then they would do it. And then it just goes worldwide. So I think the advertising now is all going to go really into digital and media.
Tell me a little bit about Baywatch and your plan there, in terms of, you said you're looking to do a TV series.
Well, I want to go to Baywatch because I love to sing. And I always had a gag, you know, of running down the beach, you know, and getting over there, but then, you know, because I know a little bit about the Bollywood movies and how many you do, like 800 a year.
Right.
And, you know, and I went to the Bollywood Awards. It was like 45 minutes long, and I was seeing the movies.
Right.
But I like the movies. I saw Dabang 2. I loved Dabang 2 and Salman Khan.
Wow.
You know, yeah, I saw that. And I loved that because that was a cool Bollywood movie, but hip. You know, here he's kicking ass and doing everything right, and then he's going, I'm cool, I'm great, I'm so fantastic, I love you. You know, and I called him up and I said, I want to be in Dabang 3, you know.
That's awesome.
Yeah, and it would be Salman Khan and the Hoff. So I think that, you know, I'm actually doing Killing Hasselhoff. I'm going to have a Bollywood number in the end of my show.
Oh, really?
Yeah, it's great.
So Killing Hasselhoff is going to be produced along with Ashok Amritraj
yes,
from Hyde. Okay.
Right. Ashok Amritraj of Hyde Park Entertainment and Image Nation out of Abu Dhabi. And also Krish Mandajur, who is the head of You and Me Productions, who do An Idiot Abroad. He's Indian as well. And so I'm surrounded by these wonderful Indian people, but you know, I can't wait to get to India, to do Baywatch and have a good laugh.
But are you in talks with anybody?
No, not yet.
Not yet.
We're just talking about putting it in the series as a one-off.
Okay.
And then I'd love to do something big, because I think doing something big in India, you know, but really doing it in India with Indian producers and doing it that way, not American.
Right.
I don't want it to be homogenized and all special effects. I want to go to India and basically turn on the camera and see what happens. I think it'd be hysterical to get into a cab and have the cab driver look back and say, "Are you feeling very, very good? You good? You good? You know, are you the Night Rider?" Yeah.
Right. If you can sing that song, you know, I'm looking for freedom, on camera for me, because it's so popular.
Sing it now?
Yeah.
I've been looking for freedom. I've been looking so long. I've been looking for freedom. Still the search goes on.
Thank you very much. Looking forward to having you in India and do those TV series that you promised us.
Thank you very much.
Lovely meeting you.
Hoff-tastic.